Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be doing the next front-end UI exercise. And this one's going to be tougher, not going to be doing too many boring things, just wanted to do the counter for a demo, but we're going to be something a little bit tougher here. So here's something that I use a decent amount. So this basically lets you play like a math game, and you can put in a timer and you can start. We're not going to have that, but we are going to have the game itself. So we're just going to say we're going to have 120 seconds. And we're going to have this game. And so this game basically has a timer and you can put stuff in. And if you put in the wrong stuff and you hit enter, it doesn't work. So we want to put in the right thing. And then when you put in the right thing, you don't even have to actually hit enter. You can just like write stuff. And then when you time out or when you're done, it will show you like time's up and then your score. So that's kind of the thing we're going to be doing here. Yeah. Okay. And I think this is going to be a pretty good exercise because we have to figure out a way how to like show this time, right? Like how to show this time, how to also have inputs, and then we also have to figure out like how do we do random operations, what are we going to allow, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And yeah, once again, going to get rid of, I'll keep some of it, I guess. I'll just get rid of the app CSS and then the app this guy, and we'll just make a new one there. Oops. All right. So we're going to start off thinking like, what do we need here? So we need this timer. And then we also need a score. Score's pretty easy. And then we also need to figure out like, what's the next thing to show the user, right? So I guess the first things first, we can start off with the time and then just make sure that works. So we can literally just have this thing 30 seconds left and it counts down and we can see if that works. Okay, so this app's not going to have anything. And yeah, I'll probably write it not super modularized yet. We'll see. Maybe clean it up a little bit later. Okay, so yeah, so we want a timer, so we can just set a time. So you can do this one of two ways, actually. I think let's just do it the easy way. Would probably put the time in state. The alternative is we can do like a date get time type of thing. So we'll just set this to 120. Oops. And then what we need to do is we need to, I don't know why, weird. Oh, I see why. I see why, it's because it's not installed. Okay, so we can write it for now. Okay. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to have a use effect. So we're going to go const use effect, or not const use effect, what am I doing? Use effect. And when you use effect, okay, now it's there, cool. So what we can do is we can set an interval and then we can clear an interval. Alternatively, we could set a timeout every time the seconds changes, but yeah, so we probably want to have an if loop. So we can say like if time, if not time, if it's 0, we're done. Just like get out of this. So we can go return. But if not, we can do like a set timeout, I guess is fine. And then we can return a clear timeout and then we can give the time as a dependency. And I think that's fine. So we can say set timeout. And we can go like, so you want to also be able to clear and return it. So usually you just do like const timeout ID equals set timeout. And then, so you want to give it a function, then you want to give it the time, right? So we can go set time. And we can just go previous, and then we can do previous -1. And the time will be every second. Cool. And we can return a clear timeout. Yeah, I don't think we need an interval because we're going to be resetting it. Like basically every time the time changes, we're going to make a new one, so I don't think there's a point in making. All right, let's see if this works. And let's just show this thing somewhere. So yeah, so we'll go return whatever div, I guess, or whatever you want. And then we'll show the time. Let's see if that works. We can even speed it up. So maybe every 100, and we'll start at, this won't take long because it'll be, yeah, let's see how this goes. Okay. Okay, so we got what we want. It's counting down. Nice. Cool. And then here it should just stop, and we shouldn't get any more re-renders. So if we like console log something now, we shouldn't see this. Yeah, I mean, we can try one more time, but so re-render, 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 and then it should stop. So that's also kind of important. It's like you don't want this thing to be infinitely rendering, you want it to stop. All right. Success. So now that we have that, so let's show this, right? So we can show this, let's see, we have this working. So if we go back to our example game, so you see it says seconds left, it has the 0. So we can write that as well. So we can have like a div at the top somewhere, time, and we'll give these things timer, and then this will be seconds left with the time. So left. Okay, so that's working. Now we also need to display a score. So we can do that as well. Score. And we need state for that as well. Set score. Start off as 0. Okay. And then we can set it in here. So we can say same thing. And we'll pass that guy in. Cool. Then we need the actual game. And we need like an is game over. We could base the is game over off the time. We can also just show what we show here, depending on the time. So what we want to show is we want to like every time we want to get some numbers. So we could check if it's game over. I guess we could have that in a state, but we want to basically show some stuff here. So we can say we can generate some stuff and then we can figure out if we want to show it or not. So we can say const like left num. Maybe we can also just not have divide. No, we can have, it's fine. So we can have left num. So we basically just want to generate like a let's say 2-digit number just to keep it simple, or any, I guess any number in the range of like 1 to 999. That's fine as well, right? So I think we can go math.random, and then yeah, so this, and then we want to multiply it by, I think you need to, yeah, let me see. So this will give you a number from 0 to 1. I think if we multiply it by 999 and then floor it, it's fine. And then we're never going to get exactly 1. Or I think actually you can multiply by 1,000 and then floor it, and that also works. I think this works. Okay. So that's our left number. Now we want to do the same thing for the right number. Yeah, to keep it simple, maybe we'll just do addition and subtraction, because with divide you have to check if the numbers are divisible and all that stuff. So let's just do addition and subtraction, will be easier. Cool. And then maybe we'll add that as a follow-up. So right num. Okay. So now we want to actually display this guy. So we want to display things depending on is the game over. So we can say here time equals 0, and, or I guess this, and then we can display two different things here. So in the first one, we can display, if it is 0, we can display the score and the try again. So yeah, so we can basically just kind of copy this in. Score, and a button to try again. Okay, and this button, when we click on it, will reset everything, right? So it'll go set time 120. Yeah, so this function will set time to 120, and then it will also set score to 0. Okay, that's done. Yeah, so that is one of the cases. And let's see, so div score button, curious if that's the problem or not. That is one of them. Okay, let's comment this out for now until we get the other thing working. So if it's not this guy, then we have the other guy. And here we just want to show the game and an input box. So we're gonna say div like game or something. Game. And I don't know how this constructor got there. Interesting. Autocomplete for the loss. Okay. Alright, so div game, and we want to show the, let's see if this is good now. Nope. Do we have, what do we have is the problem? Is it the on click? It's not liking it. Let's see. JSX must parent element. Oh, I see. So it doesn't have a parent here. It should, because this is a parent. Interesting. Button try again, div. Does the button itself work? Yes. Interesting. So why doesn't the div work? Huh. Okay. Yeah, so this is fine. Can like anything work if I just put like a H1? No. Okay. I mean, we could give it a parent, but okay, fine. Does that solve it? I guess so. Interesting. Okay, so in this game, we want to have the actual stuff. And so going back here, if we restart this game, so we want to have the number, the operation, and then the equal. So I guess operation equals. So once again, we'll go map.random. And then we'll just say like if this is less than 0.5, then we'll do addition. Otherwise, we'll go subtraction or something. Okay. So, yeah. So then what we need here is we need to actually show that. So this is where we just show that. So we're going to say, let's see, left num. Then we're going to have the, I guess we can, instead of doing it this way, we can do it this way. Operation and right num. Okay. And we want to have an input box as well. And then we can clean all this up later to figure out exactly what it needs to look like. Div class name game in here. Okay. And then we'll have a input box. We won't have a label, but we can use an area label. And this will just be like answer or something. Okay. And we want this to be controlled. We definitely want this to be controlled. So we'll go answer, set answer. Because once they put in the right answer, we want it to just go immediately. And we can set it to not a number. Or we can set it to like I guess what it can never be, like infinity or something. Actually, no, we don't want it to show anything at first. So, like we want to make sure to get input. I guess we can set it to 0. That'd be fine. Or nothing. I mean, we can also make it like undefined as well. So we can say like this can be number or undefined or something. Alternatively, we could have a default value. But yeah, let's see. Like in this thing, it's... Or actually, we could have the empty string and then we could just convert it. So this answer can actually just be the empty string. And then we can just convert it and check later. Cool. Okay, so this needs to actually be type number. Okay. Yeah, and then the value can be answer, and then on click or on change, we want to check for, we basically want to like run this like check for correctness or something like that. And then we can write this check for correctness function up here. So this check for correctness is going to take an event. Yeah, I think this is like React event or something. Form of, whatever, we'll figure it out. Okay, we'll take an event, just give it any. Don't remember what this is off the top of my head. Okay, and declared, whatever. And then we need to use declared, you can specify a different type. Okay, well, I guess we'll look at the type. So we want actually to get this thing. So we want to like say what the answer actually is. So we can check like const int answer equals parse int, I guess. Event dot target value. Okay, and if int answer, so we basically want to check like, is this the right thing? So if operation, or what should be like the actual answer, right? So the actual answer should be actual, or correct answer equals operation. So we'll check for the plus. If it's a plus, we'll add them together. So left num plus right num, otherwise left num minus right num. Cool. Then we can basically say if int answer equals correct answer, we want to increment the score. We want to restart the answer. Otherwise, we just do nothing. So yeah, I don't know if this will infer from usage. A little weird. Yeah, let's look it up. So React event TypeScript input box. What does it need to be? Change event on an HTML. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not gonna remember that off the top of my head for this for sure. Okay, let's see if that works. Nope. All right, we're gonna do a quick little copilot for this one because I don't want to have to look it up. Oh, we just have to import it. Okay, cool. All right, moving on. So yeah, so this is good. Now let's see what happens. And if the event isn't right, then we'll essentially not do anything. Okay, let's take a look how this looks. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, definitely need to make sure it doesn't go this fast. So that's one thing. So let's go 1,000. Let's do 60 seconds just so we can yeah, let's do 60 time. This is 100. Let's go 60. And you can have an import into here, whatever, but this is fine. All right, what do we got? Okay, so the problem is these numbers aren't persisting. That's not good. So we need them in state. And this makes sense because essentially this is re-rendering and then these numbers aren't persisting. So yeah. So we basically need these to start with something. So we can add them into state. Or I guess we can, this is kind of silly. We don't need left num. We can just go nums, set nums. And then we can go with, so array or useState, array of length 2. And then we can fill it with this thing. So definitely a lot of hard coding, so not the best, but this is fine. Okay. And then, so if we, yeah, so this is going to be num0, num0. Then we can think about like cleanup after this actually works. And also a nice thing to do is, if you can't think of cleanup, ask for like GPT or Copilot cleanup, and then it'll give you a lot of useful stuff, and you can use that in the future. It's kind of like a learning tool, which is nice. Okay, so we got to reset the nums here. So we'll go set nums into that. Okay. Now, hopefully they don't just reset all the time, but we might get an error. Looks like we're getting an error. Left num not defined. Okay, so num0. Alrighty. Okay, now they are. Ooh. Now the operation is changing. Ugh. Disaster. Okay. So let's keep the let's put the operation in state. Op set op equals, and we'll just do this. Okay. And then op. Okay. Now we need to do the set op as well here. So this is probably where we can have like a reset function be kind of good. Let's see what we got. Operation not defined. Okay, we're using it still. All right, how about now? Okay, so we're getting something. I don't know why this try again guys here. So let's look at our logic. So if the time is 0, then we're gonna show the score. Otherwise, oh yeah, so this try again shouldn't be there. This try again should be with the score, right? Yeah, okay. Ooh. Div score. Oh yeah, we need to put all this in a div, I guess, right? So score with a try again button, something like that. Right, so now we have everything. So is it always the same number? Did I screw? I did screw that up. And I can't type. Interesting. So we do want to allow on change actually. Yeah, we definitely want to allow on change. So that's a mistake. So let's see where we do that. Check for correctness, right? Okay. Parseint, blah, blah, blah. Else we just set answer to target value. All right, let's take a look there. Okay, we're allowed to type. Now if we go 1202, it resets, nice. So the problem is, yeah, it's the same number always, so. Okay, let's see why that is. I think I know. Okay, so yeah, so we're just doing this array.fill, which is obviously not great. So we'll just make 2 of them. So 1 and 2. Then yeah, we'll think about cleanup later on. Okay, moving on. So we can just throw that in. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Can we put in negatives? I think so. Yeah. So if this is like negative 2 something, or actually 196. Is that even right? Let's see. So it would be. No, it's actually at 206. I think. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This is working. This is good. And honestly, just with the math, like just with like the addition and the subtraction's pretty good. This would be like 16, 90. Okay. Yeah. Nice. All right. So, a couple things. We probably don't want to see this thing here. So we want to see how to get rid of that. We also want to focus right away, and then we want to kind of like move things in the right spot. But everything else is, like, I'm not going to focus too much on CSS, so let's just make it not unbearable. And then, yeah, we can look at the cleanups that Copilot would suggest, and then we can see that. Okay, so first couple things. Let's move this in its own guy, like the header div or something. We also don't even have like any class names for anything, so they can do that as well. So this header div, okay, and we want it to be on the top somewhere. Yeah, let's just actually start doing this now. So what? Okay, so yeah, basically we want this header guy to be display flex. Flex direction, or not flex direction. Oh, we want justify content, and we want space between, I think. Okay, is that right? Space header, yeah. Okay, div header timer. Why isn't it interesting? So this is the header, this is the timer, and the score. I mean, we also don't need a div. We can use a span as well, because they're going to be inline. Okay, getting somewhere. Why is it not? Do I have to do flex direction, or what am I missing? Like, I feel like it should be. I mean, if we put in like if we put in a gap of like 200 pixels, what happens? Or maybe this. Maybe there's something in here that we can just throw away all this actually. So yeah, we don't need all this. Yeah, there's like button and a bunch of other stuff in here. Okay. Now let's. Yeah, I don't think any of this affects anything. Okay, so now let's take a look. So app. Okay, so class name header, unless I misspelled it, I don't know. Timer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, dot header. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can check if we misspelled it. We can just say like border, border like 1 pixel, solid white. So actually, this is also like kind of a nice trick to do for boxes. Like, we should be able to actually get a box now. For some reason, we're not. Interesting. What am I missing? Div class name header. Am I? Oh, I didn't import it. Of course. Yeah, I was like, I gotta be missing something. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Now, yeah. So nice thing. When you're making these boxes, you can just give them borders, and then you can kind of clearly see where things are. Cool. So now we have that seconds and the score. Now from this header, we can just, I mean, we can just kind of have a lazy solution of just like margin 200 pixels or something, or padding bottom. I'll just go with that, I guess, since we aren't like super concerned with like making some great thing. Okay. Obviously this wouldn't be good to do, but this is fine for now. So we don't need these class names anymore. I think this is good enough. Good enough. Okay, so now we need the actual game section to be in the middle. So game. We can go margin auto. Should set it in the middle. Property. Apparently it's not. Yeah, I mean, if we could do the margin left or whatever, but yeah, I think. Okay, let's look that up. So margin auto center div. width of the element you're centering. Margin 0 auto? Is that it? I feel like. No. Okay. Let's see. What's this game in as well? Okay, so this div is in this. So I guess in here we can do game container, and then we can do it like that. And then we can, yeah, put the thing in here. Yeah, CSS is not my strong suit, that's for sure. Okay, cool. So we have that. We want to have a gap of like 20 pixels or something between everything. Okay. All right, so we have this game. This game actually has this here. Or no, never mind. Where's the input? The input. Okay, so this game has the input in it. That's not correct. I mean, once again, I think we can use a span here. We actually don't need this. All right, well, we can leave that, but we don't need a div. Ooh. Why? Oh, it's because we have div here. I see. Span. This needs to be div. Awesome. Getting somewhere. Okay. So now this game stops, and then it does this. Okay. So I think we're kind of good on most areas, except for I want to get rid of this ideally. And then I also want to have the try again working. So let's just set the seconds to 0, just so we could like work with the try again. Yeah, so let's clean that up, the score try again section. Here it is. So score with a 0, with a try again button. Once again, I think, okay, this has the div and the try again button. I don't think, well, let's see. Score. Center. Gap. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. So we have this button. Button looks good. Bam. Now, yeah, so now we just have -54 or something, and then this is all working now. 130. Keep going. Score's updating. This is all going. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, now I just want to see how to get rid of that, and then maybe see if we can clean anything up. Honestly, I think the best thing is just going to be asking Copilot how I can clean it up and see like what things what did I have, and then what could I have done that's better. But pretty happy with this so far. Okay, so yeah, last thing, I want to get rid of this scrolling on the text box. So can even ask, I guess, might as well. So I have to get rid of click up and down on input box for number. Because yeah, I don't think this is like hugely important, so it doesn't really matter what we search. And realistically nowadays at work, everyone's basically using Copilot, so, or some kind of AI thing. So I think learning to use it and like asking good questions is honestly pretty good. Now let's take a look. Okay, so you can hide the numbers input with CSS. I don't want that. No. I mean, for input box, how do I disable click up and down to add or subtract? Okay, yeah, because we don't want that, because like and so the two things we want to get rid of this, and we also want to have this auto focused. There is a way to autofocus. I forgot that as well. So, and that's pretty typical in a lot of things. Like if you go to a page that you just want the user to be here, then you would just autofocus this guy. Input type number. Yeah, I just don't like that idea, honestly. Okay, let's Google. How do I disable click up and down to change input in HTML input in the form? Okay, how to prevent not up key. How to hide arrows. Oh, they are actually doing it. Okay. Like that. Interesting. Firefox, input type number. Okay, maybe that is just the way, I guess. Okay, interesting. Let's try to add that in. Yeah, whatever. We'll add it in. I felt like there was just a better way, but maybe not. Standard property appearance. Mouse something. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to focus too much on this. It's literally the same solution, so whatever. Also define the standard property in Firefox. I mean, forget Firefox. Okay, so let's take a look. Try again. Okay, it's gone. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, last thing is we want to autofocus. And we want to... Okay, that's whatever. I'm not going to care too much about styling. Yeah, so let's look that up. How to... And this is actually pretty useful. So how to autofocus into input box on mount. And yeah, this is actually like something, like I said, you should do. So let's take a look what we got here. Autofocus. Okay, there's just an autofocus field. Cool. Okay, yeah, I don't use it rare. Like I used it like once or twice in the last year, so I don't know off the top of my head. Okay, so let's do that. So let's go autofocus. All right, let's see what we got here. So if we click, oh yeah, we gotta reset the timer to 120. Awesome. And if we, okay, cool. So it is, bam. Okay, yeah. Okay, awesome. So yeah. That's pretty much it. Now let's spend some time looking at some refactors. Okay. So I guess let me make some guesses. So like this is probably not good. This can be made somewhere. Yeah. This is okay. I mean, you could obviously break this down into separate components as well, like a timer and a I mean, there's not too much stuff though. Maybe like a timer and a game, like the game itself you can do. But yeah, this we can also definitely make like a reset game or like something like that. So let's see what we got here. So we can say, I don't know which one to use. Okay, let's say refactor this to make it production ready and modular, and we'll see what this gives. And I actually do this for a lot of leak code problems as well. So I'll have some solution and I'm like, how do I make it cleaner? So I ask and then it'll give me suggestions, and then I can kind of like take mental notes of like, oh, I can do these things and these things for the future. So, and I think this is like one of my struggle points with making these things really quickly is it's hard to make it like modular really quickly, right? So let's see what suggestions we get. Yeah, I mean, for this game, there's not too much reusability, so if we were making something a bunch of times, it would definitely be a lot more clear. Also, I do think having a lot of use states is not the best. So that could be another thing. Clean it up, put it in an object, like a bunch of other stuff. So let's see though what we get. And then we're gonna wrap up. Okay, well, just custom hook, maintain, blah blah blah. So let's take a look at what we got. So this is a new file. Let's keep it. Okay, so use timer, initial time, const time, use effect, time return, clear timeout, reset timer, set time initialize. Okay, so we're returning a time, we're returning a set time, and we're returning a reset timer. Okay, so this is pretty nice. So essentially we're creating a hook that will let us get a time, it will let us set a time, and it will let us reset the timer to the initial time. So that way we can have that in another component. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see what else. Score screen. Okay, so it made a new score screen component. Let's keep score screen, score, on try again, score. Okay, so it just shows a score and a try again button and put that in a separate thing. Interesting. Okay, and then an on try again. I'm guessing on try again restarts the game. Yeah, I would guess that's what it does. We'll double check. So that's good. Game. Okay, so the game is like the main game, I guess. So nums, op, answer, on change. game container, class name, num0 op, okay, area label, answer, on change, okay, and then the autofocus, okay. And let's try to see, yeah, this is like the main game that's going to be cleaned up now a lot, I'm guessing, or at least a decent amount. Okay, looks like a lot of changes there. All right, so let's take a look how this game works now. Okay, for some reason we are not using set time. Let's Copilot fix that as well. Okay. All right, so let's take a look kind of what this flow is now. So we have this use timer, we have a score screen, we have a game. So we make a timer, we still make these nums with these randoms, I guess it's okay. We set the score, we set the answer, we set the operation. Okay, so we have a check for correctness function, which checks for if, so this is like basically check for game over, essentially. Yeah, so maybe that's a better thing. And then we have a handle try again, which is, like I said, there's going to be like a reset game. So for a reset game, you reset the timer, you set the score, set answers. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay, so we have the header. And now we set the score screen now. Okay, so I see. So the score screen will be the try again button is a separate component, and the game is a separate component. This is just too small to make a second component. Okay, cool. Game ops num. Yeah. So, and then we have this like timer hook thing somewhere, right? Timer, use timer. Yeah. So we have use timer instead of use state, which is nice. So I think that's one of the main things to take away from this is like, if you, like this is kind of a lot, so you can just make your custom hook and you can call it. And this kind of thing can be used all over the place, right? Like a timer that ticks down, that's like pretty reusable. Scores, I mean, yeah, this is like not the whatever. So let's actually see how the game looks once we do all that. I mean, it should be exactly the same, but let's see. We can rerun it. Okay, so it looks the same. So yeah, we go like 14, 16. Then so on, right? 988, whatever. So yeah, this is like 655 and so on. Yeah, honestly, just with the addition and subtraction, it's pretty good. And then yeah, you can reset the timer, you can do whatever. So maybe I'll do a second part with like multiplication division. There's just, I mean, honestly, I don't think I need to. I think there's just a few more checks, right? So quickly go over it. I guess if we roll, so we'd have to add like 2 more random things, and if we get multiplication, we can limit these numbers to 2 digits, and then they can be whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then for division, what we'd have to do is the first number can be 1 to 3 digits, but the second number has to be a factor of that number. So we can do something like get all the factors of that number and then roll for one of those, or we could just keep rolling for random numbers until it's a factor. That's obviously going to be worse, but that is like a brute force that works. But that's not kind of like the interesting part of this problem. So pretty happy where they are, and then going to come up with some more like of these like challenging type things, not just like a form or an accordion or something. Maybe do like Wordle next or something, or look at some other harder things. So yeah, let me know what you think about this, and thanks for watching.